Assalamu alaikum everyone and good morning. Today we will listen to the story name called Officer Buckle and Gloria. You can see this officer, he is writing all his safety tips. Here Officer Buckle knew more safety tips than anyone else in Nepal. Every time he thought of a new one, he thumbtacked it to his bulletin board. Whatever he write the safety tips, he put it on the bulletin board. As you can see, he just fall down from the swivel chair. So number one tip was never stand on a swivel chair. That's the first thing that he wants to tell to the Nepal students, that never stand on a swivel chair to put anything on the wall or anything on the bulletin board. Okay, now in the second picture, as you can see that the students are just sitting and they are not listening to his safety tips. Someone is snoring, someone is doing lunch, and someone is making aeroplanes. Officer Buckle shared his safety tips with the students at Nepal schools. He wants to share all his safety tips with the Nepal school students, but nobody was listening to him. Nobody ever listened. Sometimes there was snoring. Sometimes it was snoring. Nobody was listening, sleeping, snoring, making aeroplanes. Then what happened afterwards? It was business as usual. Mrs. Topal, the principal, took down the welcome banner. Never stand on a swivel chair, said Officer Buckle, but Mrs. Topal didn't hear him. Officer Buckle then saw Mrs. Topal standing on a swivel chair. He suddenly said, never stand on a swivel chair, he said, but Mrs. Topal didn't hear him. Then next day, what happened? Nepal's police department bought a police dog named Gloria. When it was time for Officer Buckle to give the safety speech at the school, Gloria went along. Gloria is the name of the dog. It's a police dog. Children, this is Gloria, announced Officer Buckle. Gloria obeys my commands. Gloria sit and Gloria sat. You can see the picture that he said that she follows my demands. Gloria obeys commands. Gloria sit and Gloria sat. Now you can see in this picture, what you can see in this picture, that the children, the students, Officer Buckle gives safety tip number one: keep your shoelaces tied. The children were sat up and stared. As you can see the picture, all the children were quite get attentive, and they were like, the dog was with Officer Buckle and the dog was standing and following Officer Buckle's commands. Keep your shoelaces tied. The children sat up and stared. They sat up and stared and see that what is happening. As you can see, this Officer Buckle checked it to see if Gloria was sitting at attention, and she was. See, she is following all his rules and his commands as well. Safety tip number two, said Officer Buckle, always wipe up spills before someone slips and falls. The children eyes popped. As you can see in the picture that the children are like staring at Gloria, that she was showing them that the safety number two, always wipe up spills before someone slips and falls. The children eyes popped. Okay, why the children eyes were popped? Because she was showing them, if something will comes on the floor, you should wipe it before somebody fall down and somebody will get hurt. This is the safety tip number two for the children. And then what happened? Officer Buckle checked on Gloria again, that she was sitting or not. And then suddenly Officer Buckle said, "Good dog," he said. Officer Buckle thought of a safety tip he had discovered that morning. As you can see that the Gloria dog is just jumped off. Why she jumped off? Because she's showing them that never leave a thumbnails or thumbtack where you might sit on it. The audience roared. They were clapping and roared that she was showing that if you put some needle or some any sharp object on the seats, it will hurt you really badly and you will jump off from the chair. Like this, the way she was showing in the picture. See? Now then, Officer Buckle grinned. He said the rest of the tips with plenty of expressions. The children clapped their hands and cheered. Some of them laughed until they cried. Officer Buckle was surprised. He had never noticed how funny safety tips could be. After this safety speech, there wasn't a single accident. He was very happy. The next day, an enormous envelope arrived at the police station. It was stuffed with thank you letters from the students at Nepwile School. You can see in the picture there's so many thank you letters he got it from the Nepwile schools. You can see this: Dear Gloria and Officer Buckle, thank you for coming to our school. You are nice, and your friend George and Gloria. Every letter had a drawing of Gloria on it. Officer Buckle thought the drawing showered a lot of imagination. His favorite letter was written on a star-shaped piece of paper. And it said, "You and Gloria make a good team." And he has sent a safety tip that I always wear a crash helmet. So this is the story of Officer Buckle and Gloria. What is the moral of this story? That always do the things which are good for you and good for others as well. So you should follow all these safety tips. Never put sharp objects on the chair. Never stand on the swivel chair. Always tie up your shoelaces properly so you will not get hurt and you will not get anybody else hurt as well, and wipe off the floor until somebody falls down. So this is the moral of the story. Always follow the safety tips. Okay, earlier one. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.